Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, and wow, just an absolute roller coaster. It just seems like every day it's a roller coaster ride, but today was definitely did not disappoint. Holy moly, this price action. But I want to get into my midweek review. I like to provide my weekly levels on Sunday, do a midweek review, and then finish off on Friday with a end of week review on how the weekly levels are doing, some of the strategies, and just talking price action in general. Let's get into it right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. So yeah, I mean, this chart, this chart just looks insane. But let's just get into it from the beginning. So if we jump to Monday, April 7th, obviously I put out my levels. We're starting off on the NQ today. So put my levels on the NQ, and so we would be starting off somewhere down here, beginning of Monday. So as you guys know, we had that. It's been an absolute roller coaster with fake tariff news, real tariff news, pauses, and price action has just been it's been extremely volatile. I mean, it's I've been doing it for a long time. I know a lot of people are saying the exact same thing, that this has probably been the craziest 2 weeks that we've seen, even during COVID, and this is something to watch. I mean, it's actually it's difficult to trade for sure, but at the same time, if you're kind of a chart junkie, like how I think I am, it's pretty fun to watch the price action. I mean, this bar right here, these are all 1 hour bars, by the way, just because I'm on the weekly chart, and this bar is just pure insanity. We'll get into it. So we obviously had a huge spike Monday, right around that 10 a.m. We had news, take back news. It was nutty. But then, as the day progressed, on Monday, we started to see obviously this band that I drew on the NQ from 17,756 to 835. You could see, I mean, this thing was just like a brick wall. This was almost an entire day, and it was just an absolute brick wall where most of the volume was traded at right at the band that I had put out. So we finally were able to break out into that secondary band on Tuesday, the 8th. And you can see, price action obviously was able to punch through. But if you look at it, just like these rejections from the bands, this is close to 100 points. 100-point move down right from the touch of this band. And all of these are just huge moves. I mean, it doesn't, they look smaller candles, but these are 1 hour candles, and they're actually pretty large rejections from that first band. And then obviously we had the big dip, and then today we just absolutely just blew through a ton of liquidity. And then obviously when markets are moving that quickly, the liquidity starts to kind of thin out, and direction just gets one directional. And that was an absolute huge push to the upside. So above us, we still got these three bands that I'd be very interested to see how Thursday and Friday play out compared to these, which is at 19,555, 19,634, 878 to 811, and then 20,033 to 2128. The ES It's pretty cool. Actually, this is a pretty cool chart. Obviously, again, we're April 7th, Monday, beginning of the market. We had that big push straight through that first band. But again, I mean, I had put out a tradable level, more of like I don't know if you want to call it a scalp, but definitely an intraday trade that, off that 5180 level that I gave you guys on Sunday. I mean, look at that level. Look at this level. I mean, it's exactly where price action just met a brick wall, several rejections down, and these are 30-point moves, from here. So again, we were able to break through on Tuesday the 8th, came right back down, and then we had news that tariffs were going to get paused for some certain countries, and it obviously skyrocketed the market. No real resistance from this band to this band. No big shock for me because of volume. You kind of see where volume was resting at, and this really was it was not a shocker to me once we got through this band. But look where you face the next resistance. So we had the band mapped out on Sunday at 54.28 to 53.79. It's exactly where the market had a real hard time for about an hour and a half to kind of get through, and it eventually got through to the next band, and you can see that it was having a hard time just getting right through it again. So again, I keep these off on the side on one of my additional monitors off to the side, and I look at this throughout the day just to kind of see where we're at in price action on a much bigger scale. It's not necessarily tradable for me. I like to find the pockets intraday that match up to exactly what I'm looking for on the weekly. So those are much more tradable for me. So if I start talking about how were my setups this week, how are the trades been? Ended up not taking any trades on Monday, for damn good reason. I mean, this was, I would say, Monday. Monday was nutty. Tuesday was tough too, just because of that. Fake tariff pause report that came out. I mean, we had I want to say a 7% swing both ways. 5% up, 2% down. It was just absolutely nutty. And so yesterday, so again, no trades on Monday, or no signals that came to fruition on Monday. Yesterday, I alerted that I had a trade setup that I saw on the NASDAQ for an entry at 18,210. Take profit 1, take profit 2. Trade would have hit, but I did invalidate the setup maybe about, we had a few sweeps of our take profit 1 and take profit 2, really close to our entry. And for those of you that follow my signals and my levels, that is definitely one of the items that I look at to invalidate a setup, which I did. Unfortunately, I did, because this trade would have hit take profit 2 extremely quickly with very little drawdown. So that was kind of a bummer to start off the morning yesterday. Then I had another setup on the ES, and I had an entry at 51.90, take profit 1 at 51.98, and take profit 2 at 52.06. I also had to invalidate this entry just because of the multiple sweeps that we had of take profit 1, take profit 2, right, and this was like about a point off of my entry. Everyone in my group already knows that those are trades that I will invalidate. I'm looking for, okay, sweeping take profit 2, but after take profit 1, I'd like to see it go right into my entry and then take out take profit 1 and 2. And for a good thing, that was a great invalidation, because you guys can see this price action went right through. This is from one of our Signal members that took it just on sim, because he just wanted to see if my invalidation was the right move or if it would have worked like how the NQ trade would have worked. But this one eventually would have failed the next time that it came right through the entry. So I was pretty happy, even though I didn't take any trades on Monday, didn't take any setups yesterday. Still really happy with my patience. I was happy with the way that I was reading the markets. Still felt really good about it. And then we had today. Um, Today put out a signal on the ES, and out of all things, it was a signal to go long out of a level, and I took an L. I took my first signal loss of April, and on a day where the markets were up, I don't know, between 8 and 10%, it's kind of crazy that I took the loss on on a long setup, but it happened. So I took my first L today for April on the signal, and that's okay. There's going to be more signals, and there will be more setups to come, and that's a part of trading. I was patient. I felt like I had a pretty good read on the market yesterday, and obviously there was that whole up and down swing, which becomes extremely wild. But same as this one today. I mean, price action got very, very nutty, and that's what you're going to get some days. So let's take a look to see how tomorrow and Friday come out. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully these levels will help you out. Take care.